the corporate beers, basically it's about marketing, and they don't have any taste anymore. You know, arguably they tasted better in the 60s and 70s than they do now. I don't think if you gave me a blind taste of a test of Coors, Miller, and Bud, I don't think I'd be able to pick them out. They are, you know, I don't drink them, first of all. I'd probably have to practice, and that would be the worst part. If it doesn't have flavor, why drink it? I mean, they've got this other great thing called water. It all basically started with Jimmy Carter. Helped it in '78. He allowed homebrewing for the first time, and you know, suddenly you could be a small brewer, which was against the law to be. And brewers got more inventive, started using different ingredients, and then when the craft beer explosion happened, basically, you know, people just said, wow, well, you know, why do I have to drink all these beers that taste alike when there's all these different kinds of beers?
In my opinion, brewing beer is just like cooking or baking or, you know, creating food. You know, there's master chefs out there who serve you something and you're like, this is magnificent in the presentation and also in the flavors and whatnot. Same with beer. I mean, you serve a beer with great presentation, great color, great effervescence, and it has great flavor to it. I mean, that's your artistic statement that you're providing to somebody else. This is what I've done. You know, this is, I mean, and there's a lot of time and effort that goes into certain beers. The most rewarding part of homebrewing is seeing the look on somebody's face when they try one of my beers for the first time and having that, knowing that they like it, they genuinely like it, and they're not just saying that to, you know, blow smoke up, you know. It's like an artist having a gallery and having people admiring their artwork. I like going to a party and bringing a keg and having people drink my beer and come up to me, you know, during the party and be like, hey man, that was some of the best beer I ever had. Homebrewing is definitely a big communal experience for me. It brings a bunch of people together. I mean, you see people all walks of life at that homebrew meeting.
I'm Audrey. I'm the president of Pacific Gravity Homebrewers Club. We're based out of Culver City, California. We're a pretty big brew club in LA, probably about 250, 300 members.
We do it because we believe that talking to other brewers and exchanging notes and ideas and what works and what doesn't work is going to make people better brewers. And, you know, from a purely, you know, self-interest point of view, that'll keep people coming back. People making bad beer don't last very long. People making good beer can go on for quite some time. One of the most interesting things about this is the incredibly diverse demographic that we have as customers here. We have college students, we have retirees, we have men, we have women, we have gay brewers, we have all ethnic groups. It is pretty much the most diverse group of people you can imagine.
Hey, welcome to Eagle Rock Brewery. I'm Jeremy Robb, one of the owners and the founders and kind of wearer of many hats here. The recipes that we developed for the beers that we make here commercially all started out as homebrew size batches, or 5-gallon size batches typically. And all of us that are working here started out homebrewing. We knew that there was a lot of people in LA that were really into good beer and they wanted to have a better beer culture in their city. So our goal was to sort of help achieve that. The beer name sort of sprung out of that idea. Our 4 flagship beers are Solidarity, Manifesto, Revolution, and Populist. We've approached it from a really kind of grassroots effort to reach out to people and say, hey, these are the beers that we make. They're fairly easy drinking and approachable, but they still have a whole lot of flavor and are made with a lot of integrity. So we really want to try and educate people about what beer can be and what this idea of a beer community can be. I guess I would consider myself a beer geek. I mean, it's sort of like a geek of any nature. A beer geek, I think, is just somebody that is so passionate about beer, whether it's brewing it or enjoying it. They're just so passionate about it that they collect beers, they'll, you know, read beer magazines, find out as much details about beers as possible.
I guess I do consider myself a beer geek because, you know, I kind of got into it more than a lot of my friends at a certain point, but it's become a badge of honor, I think, for people that are so enthralled with it, you know? I mean, beer aficionado, sure. I mean, it's all those things, but, you know, when you start planning your vacations around beer festivals or beer cities or, you know, those kinds of things, when all of a sudden it's like, you know, go shop and go to the grocery store, the first thing I do is go to the beer section and just see what they got. Oh, they got this in? Wow, that's great. Oh, they got this for that price? That's killer. Or, oh God, they haven't changed their beer list in months, you know? And then I'll do the grocery shop, you know? But I'll go and check, you know, it's always like sort of the first thing on my mind. Cheers.